Good morning, gang. It's Kevin here, Life22, and it has been a hot minute. It has been a hot minute. So, geez, it's been a long couple weeks. We had the 4th of July. We just got back last night from my mom's wedding and my brother's baby shower out in Connecticut. Just a ton of things going on. We've got business deals closing, business deals ending, business deals beginning. We've got customers we're taking care of. We've got the kids. It's the heat of the summer. And it's hot as balls. It is hot. So, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, because it's a Motivational Monday, and I don't really have an actual topic per se. Well, I have a topic. I don't have a formulated slogan or logo or whatever you want to call it for this Motivational Monday. But what I do have is a topic, and that topic is something that hit me last week. So a week ago yesterday, so the previous Sunday, I believe it would have been the 3rd, 4th, 4th of July was a Friday, I believe, right? Yeah, so 5th, 6th of July, me and the wife were walking around the corner from our house, and we come back, and there's this dude at the corner. And I know I've spoken about this probably a decade ago on this podcast, right? But it is, it's back. It's back. And I know it hasn't really gone anywhere, but it's also, it's stronger. And now you'll know what I'm talking about. So we walk up, and it's the end of the night on a Sunday, right? So everyone's tired, and my wife sees this guy, and they're just perched at the corner in front of a building that we're hoping to purchase. And they're doing one of those, those weird handshakes. It wasn't like a, hey man, how you been? It's a, and this guy takes that. And it was a deal going down right in front of us. And we, that's what sucks about our legal system. It's we just witnessed it. Well, a cop didn't see it. It doesn't matter. If I see a guy murder somebody, they put me on trial. They put me on the stand when we've got the guy on trial, and my word is just as good as if he killed him in front of a cop, right? So I just don't understand how. I guess I do partly understand, because New York is so dumb now that we have to they have to arrest these people with the drugs, send them away. They give them they're okay, thanks, we've gathered all our evidence. We can't charge you until we find out for sure that wasn't just baking soda. It's why are people out on the street? If somebody's out on the street selling fake drugs, I think they should go to jail too. If one of my kids brings a toy gun to school, they go to prison, I go to prison. It doesn't matter if it's real or fake, right? So I just don't understand what the big deal is. Especially because what normal human being is out on the corner pretending if I was selling baking soda, okay? Not that that's something that I would do, but if I were selling baking soda, I don't think that I wouldn't be selling it outdoors. Unless it was homemade baking soda and there was some special, reason for it. And then, at which point you'd see me at a farmer's market. You would not see me at, the local corner slinging it in little bags. I'd be selling it in, sacks. Because there's more bang for your buck. Why would I want to sell you, an eighth of baking soda? That's just so dumb. So, I think if you see a guy at the corner and he's selling something, and it isn't hey, there's a Pokemon gym across the street from my house. I've learned this over the years. It's actually right outside my window, across the street. And I can see all these, random people, when Pokemon, it goes in ebbs and flows, right? So, all of a sudden, randomly, that, Pokemon Go must do something, and then, or there's an event or something, and then, all these people just show up in cars, and they'll just be at the corner of the vacant lot next to my house. Or not the vacant lot, but the front yard of the church, because there's a Pokemon gym there. And we've discovered this over the years, and there's just tons of randoms, and they're not doing anything. They're just on their phone. And so okay, they're not selling drugs. They're not, waiting for their drug dealer. I don't know where I was going with this. But yeah, if you were just on, hey, I just won this stuff at the gym. I can sell it to you. I'll sell you this Pokemon thing. Okay, well, I would understand that. You meet down at the local gym. Now, it's a digital gym, so you can't see it. But that, I could get behind the argument for that, on why that person is there selling something at that corner. But these other people, they're sitting on bikes, they're wearing hoodies. And so the missus sees this guy and she goes, I know who you are. Why don't you stop selling effing drugs in my neighborhood? And all the neighbors start coming out on their porches and they're like looking at him, and these guys are getting real nervous. How do you know we're selling drugs? And then she points at the one guy and she goes, you were all over Facebook. And she started dropping his name. And it was like, the guy just put his hoodie up and biked away. And the other guy was like, screw you, lady. And then he just like, he walked around the back of this house and went inside. And it's like, oh, you just happen to be outside not smoking a cigarette. I just needed to touch some grass, you know? Like, it's one of those things, and it's getting worse. And then that guy went over to another house that, like, the police have been at 9 times for domestics and potential drug sales. And there's tons of people coming in and out of this house. And then all of a sudden it gets raided. Like, I was at work last week. I think it happened like Tuesday, Wednesday. It got raided. You know, whatever they do, I would call it a SWAT team, but they went in, you know, flashbang grenades, you know, what have you, rammed the door down, arrested some people or gave them appearance tickets or whatever they like have to do in New York. And then, like, and by no means is this the police's fault. Like, they're just trying to catch the bad guys. And the problem is New York State says, well, maybe they're not so much the bad guys. It's like, no, they're the bad guys. If they're hooked on drugs, they don't need to be in my neighborhood. My neighborhood has kids in it. Like, there's needles constantly all over the place. And no one really cares. And it's like, well, we have a street sweeper. It's like, yeah, what are you doing about the sidewalk? What are you doing about the grass? Like, nothing. It's up to the homeowner to pick up the needles in their yard. But, like, we shouldn't have to. Like, unless you're a diabetic, and if you're diabetic just strewing your needles all over the place, you deserve to go to prison. Like, you're a horrible human being. These people out here, if I see you drop a needle on the ground, like, I should be able to beat the daylights out of you because, hey, guess what? I just found a felon and I'm beating him until the police get here. Subduing him. These people don't seem to understand it. It's like, oh, well, they have rights too. It's like, yeah, but as soon as they drop a needle on the sidewalk, like, there's no accountability. As soon as they drop a needle on the sidewalk, if it pokes my kid dies, that person should go to prison. Every person related to that person should go to prison. Their parents for teaching them incorrectly, their offspring so they can learn the lessons of their father. Like, that used to be a thing. Like, I'm sorry, I'm getting all hyped up on this, but that's ridiculous. Like, they can drop needles on the sidewalk, and it's like, well, how do you prove it's them? It's like, well, there's a dead kid. And, like, I don't care. Like, I saw them. Like, but you're not a police officer. It's like, oh. But if I beat the daylights out of them and a neighbor sees it, like, I go to prison. Like, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I go to prison because I got the daylights beaten out of this guy. I beat him up. Like, it literally looked like the bat signal because I was just beating him up and just lights are shining out of his face as the daylight leaves his body. And if a stranger sees it, I go to jail. But if I see them sell drugs, if I see them drop a needle on the sidewalk, and then immediately afterwards, the kid dies and the guy's still in the area and runs away. Oh, no, yeah, but your vision doesn't count because you're a productive member of society. We hold you to a higher standard, which is bullshit because we're all members of society. There are certain positions in our society that you are a fiduciary, like a police officer, like an elected official. You are held to a higher standard of the law. But when it comes just down to it, just because I follow the rules does not make me a fiduciary. It should be upon all of us. It is ridiculous that this shit is going on. So anyways, yes, my wife and all the neighbors are watching as this drug bust goes down. And they're busting these people and doing whatever. And, you know, they're like, there's people still showing up. My wife's like, there's people showing up. Wow, we're there. Like, we're watching it across the street from our house. And she's like, people are just coming and going. One guy asked the cop if he could still go in, if so-and-so was in handcuffs. He says he's got to get his stuff and leave. They're admitting to buying drugs right there in front of the police officers. She said there was like 13 people that just kept coming and going that weren't cops. They were just like regular people. And there were some people that just didn't go inside. They just stayed outside with their, and as soon as the police pulled off, this like trove of people on foot and bike like walked over to the house and then left within like 6 minutes, like satisfied, like scratching their necks and whatever. And it's like, the hell? It's an active, like, to me, it's an active crime scene. Like, if you decide to, like, trespass on a crime scene, you should get shot in the leg and just, you know, hey, arrest this guy, take him to the hospital, get his wound taken care of. And, like, that'll teach him. Don't show up on our crime scenes. Like, you also have to be able to punish people so that they learn a lesson. Like, I think that may be one of the biggest problems now. It's like, hey, you're not supposed to sell drugs. Guess what? You sell drugs, you go to jail. You go to prison. Oh, you did it again. Guess what? Now you're dead. That's why capital punishment is a real thing, because it's like sometimes you can't teach people to not do horrible things. You touch a child, I think you should be killed instantly. The cop that shows up on the scene is like, which one do you want? You want the gun or you want the lethal injection? Like, dispense it. Like, I don't know. I'm going down a rabbit hole, and I hope this motivates you to clean up your neighborhoods. I hope this motivates you if you were the people that are, across the street and down the road from my house. Like, get out of my neighborhood. So here's my Motivational Monday is just like me getting all riled up, first thing in the morning. So, and then like we went to leave for my mom's wedding last week, but the day before, I happened to pop on Facebook and I saw this young boy, like this young kid, like lost his bike, and somebody stole it from the YMCA, and I was like, that's ridiculous. Some kid just stole it. His mom bought it for him like 2 weeks before his birthday or something, and it's like, what? Who steals a kid's bike, man? You go to the YMCA and you steal a bike, 50% chance it's a kid's, maybe even higher, maybe like 80% chance it's a kid's. You just steal a child's bike, like. There should be some exceptions for beating the daylights out of people in our society. Like they're just, it's been too long where we're too like, well, it'll hurt their emotions. Like no. I mean, yes, it'll hurt their emotions and it'll also hurt their being. And then some people need to have their beings hurt in order to like learn to be productive members of society. When I was a kid, you got beat, and guess what? The rest of us grew up just fine. We grew up just fine. But now all of a sudden you're not spanking your kids. You're not beating the daylights out of the guy who tries to break in your. If this guy breaks into my house and puts a gun in my wife's mouth and tells her to give us all the jewelry or she's gonna blow her brains out. Like, if we tell him to stop it, his emotions will be hurt. Like, and that happens all the time. Like, not in my house. Like, it doesn't happen all the time. But there's break-ins all over the place with weapons, and no one's like. It's just. Well, but the governor says that we can't hurt their feelings because it's not their fault. Like, yes, it is their fault. It's called agency. They have it. They have it. Personal responsibility, personal accountability. There's a lot of people out there that need to be, like, pistol whipped with their own pistol they're threatening, like, innocent families with. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's not so out there. And I think that we have to be strong members of society, and we have to like take charge. And we need that. I don't care if you call it toxic masculinity. We need more masculinity in our society because there's too much estrogen floating around, like making everybody soft. And we need women in our society too, but the problem is there has to be a healthy balance. And right now that balance is askew. And so now we have this chemical imbalance. Then everybody wants to, like, but yeah, they're bad people because they're using their guns to to rob you. But they had a rough childhood. Like, I don't care about their childhood. I don't give two flying shits about their childhood. You come near my kids, you drop needles on our sidewalks, like you're selling drugs around the corner from my kids. Like, I know all that shit's got fentanyl in it now. Like, you don't have to tell me. Get those you see those videos of those cops, like, it's like, oh, we're only posting 10% of the videos of how this actually happens. It's like, it's only 10% of them. It's like, there's 2,000 videos a day just from the state of New York of like cops pulling people over. Like, let me see your ID, sir. And it's got so much fentanyl on it. The cop ODs. And it's like, oh, well, that's only 10% of them. And there's 1,000 a day just from New York. And it's like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean this is not a problem? Anyways, we saw that this kid got his bike stolen, and I like, no, screw this. Like, I reached out to the mom right on Facebook, and I said, hey, listen, my company will buy your kid a bike. And they had, if his bike doesn't get returned or found, they spent that whole day looking for the bike. They didn't find it. So before I left town, like, me and June got up at like 6:30 in the morning, went down to Walmart, bought the exact same bike for the kid, dropped it off with his mom while he was at football practice. And I got a call from the kid later. Hey, thank you so much for the bike. I appreciate it. And it's like, you know what? Not a problem, kid. I also bought your bike lock. Lock your bike up. Because, like, you shouldn't have to have a bike lock. You shouldn't have to. Locks keep honest people away. If somebody really wanted to steal that kid's bike, they would just show up with their bolt cutters. Because, like, it's funny. Like, half the people that go to that drug house have, like, bolt cutters, like carabinered to their leg. And they just, like, walking around like, well, yeah, I just got back from my B&E. I'm going to trade my stuff in at the fence next door. The fence, like a person who buys and sells stolen property. Yes. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to just, trade that fence money for drug money and buy my drugs. And it's like, these people suck. And like, we need to build stronger communities. Like, and I told that kid there needs to, like, the reason I bought him a bike is because I felt bad, yes, that he got his bike stolen. I don't think children should have their bike stolen. And like, if the kid doesn't use the bike lock and the bike is stolen again, like, I mean, I guess, first time, shame on the guy who stole the bike. Second time, shame on the kid. But like, that hasn't happened yet. And I'm sure he's learned a valuable lesson and whatever else. And like, people paint me to be a monster, and I'm not a monster. I want to help out people, but there's certain people you can't help because they've gotten too much help, and now all of a sudden they're like destitute on help from others, and it's a ridiculous thing, and I'm not putting up with it anymore. So, so we bought this kid a bike. Try to be a shining example to others in our community. Like, kid gets his bike stolen, like, pitch in, come together, like, help solve the problem. But now here's the other side of the solving the problem, is me right here doing this video, being motivational on a Monday, piquing your interest to be like, you know what? That guy is selling drugs across the street from my house too. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to give him peace of my mind. And if he pulls a gun on you, you know what you should do? Before you walk over there, you should have been signed up for AKT Jiu-Jitsu, right? Advanced combatives. And then when he pulls the gun on you, he'll be disarmed. When you disarm him, realize that you've disarmed him because you're quick and you've learned. Now, hey, the guy pulled a gun on you. Now you can pistol whip the daylights out of him until the police arrive and be like, listen, my fingerprints are on the gun. They're not in any of the other chambers. I disarmed the guy. It's over here in pieces. Well, so maybe your fingerprints are on the trigger, on the trigger assembly, because you were dismantling the pistol after you pistol whipped the daylights out of them. These people, I don't know, like, yeah, and it's fireworks season, and it's funny, like, we hear gunshots all the way up until the 4th of July, and then it's like gunshot, fireworks, gunshot, fireworks, and it's like, what are the gunshots for? This is America. I understand you should be able to, like, send out some freedom seeds off, but I'm not allowed to target practice in my yard. So what are all these other nefarious people? Then you see on the news, it's like, shooting over on North 6th Street. Like, oh, must have been fireworks. So I hope that touches you deeply on this Motivational Monday. And it ties into our life theme of the month, which is job lie. And so if you have a job selling drugs, stop it. Stop it, because we're going to come and remotivate you to not. That's a good one. Yes, your community will come to you and say, hey, listen, you have a job. It's not a good job. It's a job that we don't want in our society. It's not, nope. You want to do this job, you're sacrificing all your other rights. That's it. Like, because you go to jail and they take all your other rights away. If you sell drugs to my kids, like, we will snuff out other rights of yours. Like, that's it. It's pretty simple. And this is your Motivational Monday with Kevin, and we will see you guys tomorrow, Life22. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join your local neighborhood watch. Do not listen to them when they tell you you cannot bring a nightstick or a tonfa with you. Like, listen, you gotta defend yourself. It's crazy streets out there. Crazy streets. Catch you tomorrow, Life22.